Way to Manifestation. Today I wanted to talk about body gratitude. If you've been following my channel for a while, I have talked in the past about my back injury I had 3 years ago. And also I had cataract surgery 2 years ago. So like in the past couple of years, I've had a lot of body things that happened. These things can really make us feel a gratitude for what we have. In this world of like perfectionism and what we sort of get spoon-fed all of the time of this image of perfection through magazines, through media, through, even AI now. AI, it's almost like some people are modeling themselves after like these AI images in a sense. Filters, these types of things. In the midst of all of this is body gratitude. And when something like what happened with me, with my back injury, where I couldn't even walk, I couldn't even drive, my whole life got turned upside down because of this injury. And not only that, but experiencing extreme pain where, I had this nerve pain running down my leg, I had a numb foot. What happened in the midst of all of that was this great gift of gratitude. So when you experience something like this, where things get taken away from you that you once kind of didn't really appreciate in a sense. When I say that, what I mean is all my life I was always so critical of my body. Striving for this idea of perfection, especially as we age, and if we want to age naturally, it's a practice of self-acceptance. Because what happens is, over time, everything is constantly changing around us. Like, we can't make something stagnate. We don't really want to be stagnating anyway. We're always changing and growing, and our cells change every 7 years, which is a really amazing thing, because if we are feeding ourselves well, then we are going to be changing every 7 years in a positive direction. When I had this back injury, it really made me feel grateful for my body, and I cried my eyes out when I could finally walk again and actually go on an exercise walk. Accepting and loving ourselves is a practice that has to be fostered, because we have to continuously step into this self-love and acceptance. It's not something that you just arrive at and you're done. Like, it's a practice. Being happy with who you are, and even all of your so-called flaws, your so-called imperfections. I heard Joe Rogan actually said this once, and it was, our body is a sandcastle. I thought that was so profound, because we think about a sandcastle, we build up the sandcastle, and then it gets knocked down. It gets knocked down by the waves, it gets knocked down by a person, like, it gets destroyed in the wind, it doesn't last. A sandcastle doesn't last. And I thought of this, with my body and my back injury. It was like I worked so hard on like this perfection image in my head of getting my body to be a certain way. And then when this thing happened, this injury, it took all of that away. It took all of that work away from me. But what it brought me was gratitude. Gratitude to be able to do the things I love. What it taught me was we're ever changing. You can build yourself up and something can happen and all of that's gone. Another thing that I started to do was to tell myself I'm always getting better. I'm always healing. I'm healing every day. Instead of like feeding into the negativity about the injury, or like days when I have pain, or days when my back feels like it's going to go out or something, I just go back to my exercises that I do, and I just say I'm always healing, I'm getting better every day. It's the self-talk that I have internally that I have to stay on top of as well, because I could fall into, I don't like this about my body, or I don't like this about myself, my face, my whatever. Self-talk. This is what we have to do to age naturally in this world, and to, foster that strength within, and that positivity about ourselves within, because we could fall into this trap, and I wanted to talk a little bit about like self-improvement, and I want to say like don't do any self-improvement. Like, I like skincare, I like doing these things, I like exercising, And I want to improve myself, but I don't want to do it under this idea of self-hatred. Like I need to fix these things about myself because they're flawed. I want to do the things because I'm nurturing myself. You know, in my case, like with my skin, I'm in menopause, my skin's changed, so I am, you know, conscientious of my skincare. However, I don't want to look at those things as I need to fix myself. I need to fix my imperfections. And I think there can be like a slippery slope with this sometimes where we want to improve ourselves, but we're not doing it because we don't love ourselves. We don't like ourselves. And so I just wanted to kind of touch on that a little bit because I think that can be kind of like, it could be like a battle within. Like, I want to love myself, I'm loving myself, but I need to fix myself. We want to improve ourselves, yes, and that's perfectly fine. But at the same time, I'm going with the flow of nature. I'm going with the flow of my life. I'm not trying to fight something and keep it stagnating like how I looked when I was 20, because that's a futile effort. First of all, it's impossible. You're always changing and growing, and even if you could freeze yourself into a state, you're not really going to be able to do that. It's really impossible. It's actually an illusion to think that we can do that, in my opinion, because you're not the same. You've changed, and you're going to continue to change. Because I choose to age naturally and love myself and have self-acceptance. So what it takes is fostering this self-love and really like to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I love you. I love every part of you, that everything that I've been told is a flaw, I love. Like that's literally what it takes in order to age naturally and be happy doing it, you know, to feel fulfilled, to feel content with ourselves. Fostering the sense of gratitude for our bodies, for moving us around the world and giving us this experience. You know, being able to walk out in nature and be healthy and happy. You know, we could spend all of our time trying to freeze ourselves into like a certain way, and it's actually just, to me, like such a time sucker, because the truth is we can't freeze ourselves in that way. And what does it take? Well, how much of our life force does it take to do that? Always focusing on that and staying in this one way and staying the same. To me, that's so much time that we could be like living our lives and enjoying ourselves and loving this experience. Setting that intention to have gratitude for our bodies, to look at ourselves and all of our so-called imperfections and love them. And I think it's important too to see people that are aging naturally, if that's what you intend on doing. So see the beauty in it. See the beauty in our aging. See the beauty in our wrinkles. See the beauty in our so-called flaws. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of talk about the subject because I think it's really important on this path of aging naturally and self-acceptance and self-love is to have gratitude for this body with all of its uniqueness. And that includes our, you know, aging. And it's okay to do self-improvement, I feel, but there's like a limit to that, in my opinion, for myself anyway, that I don't intend on doing, because I feel like for me it's invasive in a sense. Aging naturally, self-love, gratitude, this is what I'm trying to share today. I hope this message speaks to you and that you can practice your self-love, especially during the holiday season. And I just wanted to send that message out, and I hope you have a great day. I'll see you in the next video.